Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It's your main man, Apollo Styles. Usually I wear the do-rag, but I took it off and everything else so you can see the wave. I get a little closer. And now, I'm going to run this down 5 minutes of what I think of how this season should be this year. Well, summing up 5 minutes, what happened? But let's see. Andy Reid got fired end of the year. That was great and everything else. That was great. Hired Chip Kelly, which I'm not surprised. Young, enthusiastic coach. Probably escape Oregon. Who cares? And let's see. New schedule came out and all that kind of stuff. What the yada yada you do? Now, the schedule came out. Now let me break this down. Week 1 is our Monday night game, and I'm just getting to the point. It's our Monday night game against the Washington Redskins. And I'm going to say it's going to be a good shootout game and everything else, and we're probably going to win. But, see, I can move that damn thing. I just want to play around with this little thing, little system on the camera. Add it on there. But we have a little problem and everything else. It's a good season and everything else. It's going to be a great game and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking we're going to win that game and everything else. But my interpretation of the week 1 and everything else of the Philadelphia Eagles, that interpretation, I do not have. My expectations are low. It's not that high and everything else. It's really not. It's not like I'm having a good feeling, good doubt, but I do want the best of my team. So, I gotta say this. I've seen the schedule, and it's a Monday night. Another thing, I will be back. Another thing, not this week, but next week, I'll probably be on Wednesday night, because I want to give a special shout out to Donovan McNabb. And I gotta say that even over the years and everything else, look here, Eagles fans, I gotta admit, he did got us to the playoffs, and hey, what more you can say? I'd rather be spending my postseason talking about playoffs than sitting there watching the playoffs. Because watching the playoffs and then your team wasn't there, man, I'm used to, for the past so many years, this dude was like in there my whole entire end of my high school and all the way up to my entire 20s. Most of my entire 20s. So, it's been a long season. And I gotta say, we're going to have to do better. Another thing, I had to bring cap. I did watch the whole entire preseason, and I gotta say is that the offense looked good, but that defense looked kind of suspect and everything else. And I gotta say, the defense, you gotta step up and everything else. But it's a longer process and everything else. I'm not expecting any hope and everything else from the team. So, meanwhile, I gotta say that we have a great season and everything else, and I want to know that what you think about it and everything else, and put everything else to the. Oh God, I'll screw that part up. That record up. Next one. But anyway, that's how I'm doing everything else. I mean, Apollo's back and thing, and we'll be at either Apollo or Jock will be at a homecoming this year, so I might do a little special show on that one. But to wrap everything up, there's 5 minutes of everything else, of no editing and everything. I gotta say that we're gonna have a good year, and I'll be back and everything else. I will give you not gonna give you a post. The post game comes on at the same time in this one, but I'm waiting. It depends on how mad I get, but I'm not going to get that mad and everything else. So, y'all have a nice season and everything else, and and you know what it means. Eagles Nest, word life.